the movie is called The Swimmers. It's a Thai horror romance movie from 2014. And it revolves around this guy. His name is Perth, his best friend or his friend and rival here, Tan, and his girlfriend, or their girlfriend, 𝐿. So, 𝐿 was together with Tan first, when she was interested in Perth, because Tan is a very competitive swimmer. It's a little bit of a romance triangle story. 𝐿 is in one of the opening shots jumping down the 10-meter and she falls to his death. And now the two guys have a little bit of a problem. Tan is thirsty for revenge because he believes something did something to her. And Perth is haunted by a spirit. Remember when I said last week that I enjoyed the first half of Shutter more than the second? In this movie, it's completely other way around. The first part of this movie, or the first half, is pretty much just a romance movie. I even have this one moment, I even forgot that I was watching a horror movie. It's a fun movie. It's way too long, however. It goes by almost 2 hours. It's 1 hour and 53 minutes. Way too long. This movie drags on a lot. Sadly, it drags on a lot. The pacing could have been much better. They could have let out so many scenes where nothing happens, and the movie would be better for it. So, but one of the things I like, this girl killed herself. Don't clip that out of context, thanks. And after that, there was a montage of the floor and the blood getting cleaned, and the tiles getting removed, cleaned, and new. That was very satisfying. That was a great scene. I even had to write that down because I really liked that scene. So, obviously, this is a Thai movie. I am not Thai. I can't read Thai. I have no idea. And a lot of this movie revolves around Facebook and messages between the characters. Problem, it's all in Thai. I couldn't understand anything. So maybe I missed crucial information on some character development because the longer the movie went on, I really saw a lot of plot holes. And things didn't make much sense anymore. So, but let's go one after another. So, she kills herself. And after that, it is a time jump, 3 months. And Perth is Pat? I cannot pronounce the names. He is participating in a swimming race. And he even gets gold. But the only reason, pretty much, is because Tan, his friend, isn't participating because he is pretty much on his downer shit because, well, his girlfriend killed herself. And there's that one scene was infuriating because Pat asked Tan if he is still hung up on 𝐿's suicide. And it was like 3 months ago. Like, what do you mean hung up? His girlfriend killed herself. What do you mean hung up? It was so insensitive. I was like, oh my god. I found this one. There's this thing with, in Thai movies, every friend is just horrible. Like, all the people are so horrible to each other. It's so weird. They are all bad people. Like, I don't get it. So, and then there's a jump back in time, right? So they go back and show a little bit of a friendship before that. And how Tan wasn't really paying attention much to his girlfriend because he was always swimming and thinking about swimming because he's a natural gifted swimmer. And, you know, Pat really takes a liking to her. That was she. And teaches her how to swim, and they make out and all that stuff. And yes, then she kills herself because we don't know yet. And he wants, at that point, that's the swim team. He didn't see that. That's a very weird thing in the trailer. He doesn't see it. He doesn't know that it's Pat, who is with his girlfriend. And there's this one. So, like I said, it is all drama. It's all romance stuff. Nothing really happens. And I even took down. I was writing down the minute I remembered that I was watching a horror movie, because at 24 minutes and 5 seconds, there's this one scene where Pat is trying to get the phone of information of. Like the evidence that he and 𝐿 are a thing. So he breaks into the dead girl's house, and he sees like someone going into the closet, and he's opening the closet and nobody's in there. no, what is in there? It's got the scary horror movie music started. At that point, I realized, oh yeah, I'm watching a horror movie, correct? I forgot. That was interesting. But there's some good scenes in that moment. And later on, there's a lot of product placement for Pepsi in this movie. That's what I saw very, very quick. It's not even, I don't even pay attention to that stuff. Normally I ignore product placement, but this time around, because it's so out there, it's like the guy is for his training eating raw eggs and he's chasing that down with Pepsi. Who does that? I was like, that is gross, like a raw egg and Pepsi. Pick better sponsor, better advertisement, please. And that's that. So, now we found the phone and Tan is onto something because he knows that one guy made her pregnant, because that's apparently the reason 𝐥𝐤𝐤 killed herself, because she was pregnant. So now Tan wants to he found the old phone that was broken, because of course it's broken, and wants to recover the data. And he tells Part like, yo, a phone is there, we pick it up and stuff, blah blah blah. And it's so funny because he's standing at the store asking like, oh, can I have a phone? Or do you have a recipe? No. Yeah, then I can, or receipt. Then I cannot give it to you. And then it's like, Patan's like, hey, Part. He's turning to the left, and man, can't make this shit up. This is the scene. This is how it looks. He is standing at this store, talking, doing, oh, what is very ominous. Like, oh, I need my mama. And then here it's like, Tan, like, it's this store. What the fuck? Is that just a Thai thing, like having two mobile stores pretty much next to each other, doing the same thing? I don't know. This scene was very funny to me. But nothing really worked, as they couldn't recover it, so back to drama stuff. And Part is at this point really weird, because he remembers all the moments he had with 𝐼𝐸, and this scene is so damn... Wait, I will come to that next. And he's starting swimming, and he's feeling guilty. Why does he feel guilty? Because she's pregnant? And did he make her pregnant? That's pretty much like that. What's going on, and it all gets revealed later and later, and it all at least makes sense until one point. And again, I will go full spoiler, because some of the scenes later on are so ridiculously funny, I need to talk and show you some of it. So one thing I was, what I thought was very weird, I sadly don't have it in my... So they are professional swimmers, they participate in tournaments and stuff, but can you just go into the swimming pool and stuff? Is that something you can just do? Because that's what they do. It's in the middle of the night and he's just going into the swimming pool. And Tan is also just walking in, like everybody's just coming in. But in a flashback, some guy was like, oh, get out of there. But I guess they can just do that. So, and you probably saw that one scene, because it's pretty much the same thing happens over and over again. Part is going somewhere swimming, he sees something, oh, I remember the dead girl I liked, and I had unprotected sex with, just to have another girl and also do unprotected. He doesn't learn, he's a big dum-dum, all he knows is swimming. And Tan is coming like, do you know something? You would tell me if you know something, right? Yeah, I would. You would. That is going on for like 1.5 hours, almost. That's why I say this movie is way too long. It shouldn't be around 2 hours, because it's always the same thing. In the same settings, like, there's the mall, one house, or the swimming pool. That's all that exists. But then came my favorite scene. Like, one of my favorite stuff, I think in horror movies in general by now. And I have a picture. You can guess what happens. So I have this picture. It is also in the trailer. This is the funniest thing ever, because it confused me so much. In the movie, in one night, Part has a nightmare. And it's not just a nightmare, it's like a wet nightmare. Like this ghost, dead girl is climbing on top of him and pretty much doing things with him. And here's this scene. It's pretty much he tells him in this scene, we're gonna have a baby, and the next, take care of our baby Part. Oh, you can. It's very weird. Should have been me. So, and this is the next scene after that. Like, he's checking the pregnancy test. I was laughing out loud. It was so funny. I thought like, no way they make this dude pregnant now from a ghost. But it was another flashback to a previous time. But the movie does that a lot. The movie is going back and forth in times. Which can be a little bit annoying, to be honest. Because at some points I was really just getting confused which timeline we are in now. But it was, I mean, no, it's not, I wouldn't say slapped. It's more the ghost taped him, right? You understand? The ghost did something to him without consent. Let's say it like that. He woke up and it was kind of weird. So, I thought it was a bait and switch, but no, they actually made him pregnant. Can't imagine that stuff. I thought that was amazing. Like, now this dude is pregnant from a ghost. And it's this big story now. And I think this is the best shots I've ever saw in a horror movie. Like, some dude getting, like, they are high schoolers, by the way. This is the best thing. Like, it's all about suicide, life, love triangles. They are pretty much high school. And Tan is like, I will kill that guy if I find him. They beat up some dude. Like, fuck him. He's like, I wanna stab him. Let's get an abortion. Dude, all that stuff, they are high schoolers. It's wild. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on in Thailand, but shit is wild. So now that he has this baby, because his mom is pretty much only for plot. She also is pregnant, but not from a ghost. She's just pregnant. And when Tan is breaking into a hospital, Part is breaking into the hospital and wants to get an ultrasound. Yeah, he wants to scan his ghost baby, and yeah, you can. That was a very nice and very well made scene, because earlier with his mother, they heard how the heartbeat sounds with this machine, and he then also looks, but he can't see anything. That is something I thought was very good, that you can't see anything, because how the hell would you know how to operate this thing? But he found the right spot to hear the heartbeat, so he know there's something in his belly. That was a pretty good scene, I'm not gonna lie. But despite being absolutely weird, it was a very good scene. This movie has a ton of interesting that was just a jump scare. It was bad. And then the movie comes slowly to an end, like he will try to knife out the baby. There's that one gross scene with the world's fastest abortion. Can't go around this if that is too gross for some of you. Just not listen to this. I'll skip ahead. Like, his girlfriend 𝐸𝐤𝐤, when she was alive, was pregnant. And there's a flashback. I hate so many flashbacks. It's always hard to describe a movie with so many flashbacks. And they had like some pills that do something, and Part says, oh, you're not allowed to take them 9 weeks into a pregnancy. And she goes into the bathroom, takes the pill, comes out bleeding, like bleeding, and pretty much the dead baby lies on the ground. Within 1 or 2 minutes after taking this pill is like an instant abortion pill. I don't think that there's something that works like that. I'm pretty sure I've never heard of something like that happen. But there's some very gross scenes with that. All well made. Like, the worst effect I saw in this movie was when she, in the beginning of the movie, jumped off the tower. That looked very CGI. Everything else is very well made. Also, yeah, like, they can pretty much be in there all. And we get another baby shot. It's like, oh, you can see his hand on his belly. If you just put it like this, it looks kind of gross. But yeah. He then tries to cut the baby out of himself. His parents bring him to the hospital. And he gets kidnapped by his friend now. Because off screen, his friend found out that it's him who made 𝐸𝐤𝐤 pregnant. So he wants to hang him from the 10-meter tower, because they can, again, just walk into the swimming hall. Like, it's not supervised at all, apparently. But he made it out of it, and they jump into the water. And earlier in the movie, it was said that Tan he's the fastest swimmer alive, pretty much. He's like super gifted, but he can't hold his breath for like shit. That is Part's magic ability. He can hold his breath very long. So he just holds him like, okay, we stay underwater, and Pan drown. It's stupid. But one thing I hate about this movie, it does the good old bait and switch. Maybe there was some hints in the Facebook pages and stuff like that, but I just couldn't read. But pretty much, oh, that's a good shot. He is responsible for her death because in a flashback, he was like confronting him on the 10-meter tower at the end, like, oh, I know it was you. You know why? She messaged me. That message was shown for the first time. Like, oh, she messaged me. She wants to come to me later today. She would have never committed suicide. And then he has a flashback of himself, remembering that is never brought up before. So far, I felt really bad for this guy. He was just having the worst PTSD flashbacks of his dead ex-girlfriend and his dead baby and being pregnant. Like, I thought, like, man, this guy can catch a break. But suddenly, he tripped her over because she broke up and she wanted to go back to him because she's bitch. she's like with him. But she sees him and he's like, no, I want that guy. She gets pregnant, she breaks up because of her abortion, and now she wants to go back to this guy. So he gets mad because she breaks up. Again, they trip and fall and she dies. And then he throws her off the 10-meter tower. That in the last 1 hour and like 45 minutes never came up, never hinted. It's pretty much just a bait and switch. Now he's the bad guy. Doesn't matter because they died. He drowned. And I even took a note of that. Tan is the biggest loser. Starting shit and couldn't even hold his breath long enough. And one thing this movie learned me, every time he killed someone, as we know at the end, he killed her by accident and he killed him, not by accident. After her death, he won a gold medal in swimming. And he was his biggest rival. So after he was dead, he won another big thing. Because now he is the best swimmer around. So pretty much what this movie taught me is kill someone and you will be successful. All in all, I really like this movie. Not really, not in a it's a good movie sense, but it's so weird. The first half is just romance stuff. Not horror at all. The second half is also not really horror. It's just a lot of gross stuff. But the pregnant dude, the pregnant teenage boy from Thailand is the funniest thing I've seen in a while. Like, the scenes with him and his belly are so weird. I thought every single one of them was so funny. All the small things, like he couldn't close his belt like before. And it was very well detailed. Like, the belt was really roughed up at the parts he usually had. Very, very many details. But it's still so weird because he's pregnant from a ghost. But yeah, the movie is very confusing because of all the time jumps and different character triangles, and there's constantly new reveals that, oh, I know what you did, and oh no, it was that guy. That guy's like, I don't even know you, and they beat him up, and it's happening so much. But yeah, some of the scenes are very good, some are just not as good, sadly. Like, everything with him being pregnant was fantastic. Can I open it in IMDb? A new Martin Scorsese. So this movie is not really well rated. Also not a lot of ratings. That's mostly because this movie is very long. It is way too long for what is happening in the movie. The love triangle isn't really there at all. Like, Tan is pretty much just on his revenge shit. He's coming in the scene like, I know it was someone. Someone did something to her. And then he's going again. That's happening like every 20 minutes. In between parts, just, oh boy, that girl, ghost, help, pregnant. Yeah, I would give this movie a 6 too, or as well. It's not horrible. It's way too long. It is way too long. It drags on forever. But all the stuff with him is super funny. Everything with him is boring, and she's just not a character at all. She's pretty much just the plot device for both dudes to do something. She doesn't have a character. I don't even know why they are so obsessed with her. Because she's nothing. She's not a character. She's there, she dies, that's it. And there's another girl, same with her. But yeah, I will give this movie a 6. Some funny scenes, some gross scenes at the end. Second half is way better than the first half. But yeah, not higher than a 6 again. Maybe I'm just not the dude for Thai horror movies. That can be, because I'm also... I dislike pretty much every German movie I've seen so far. I don't like a single one of them. So maybe it's just something about this style of movie or movie making that I just don't vibe with that well. But to be honest, most horror movies would get a 6 or 5 or 4. Because most of them are just not that good. But yeah, that's it for the Swimmers. I hope I did a little bit better this time. I at least prepared more. I will try to not do... I will not make it a weekly thing. Next time I will select a movie and I will prepare more. Like try to write a summary of that movie to go by that. I will see. Maybe I will go over Evil Dead, that series, because there was recently a new movie, Evil Dead Rises. I watched it. That one was pretty good, but I really like the Evil Dead series. Not the show, but in general, the whole thing is a lot of fun. What even is this? This is not the same movie. No idea what that is. Interesting. But yeah, we'll see. I will try to try new different forms of how I want to do this. If I do a summary first, then talk about it, or if I do a summary and talk about it. We'll see. This thing will evolve. Maybe you have a movie you want to that I should talk about. Then in that case, put it into my Discord under suggestions and movie suggestions. I hate that word. And yeah, then bye.